If you're on the market to buy a premium mid-size SUV, chances are that you're confused between the Hyundai Creta, Kia Seltos, or the new Volkswagen Tiguan, or even the Skoda Kushaq. But what we are missing is this, the all-new MG Astor. Well, I think this is a dark horse in the running because on paper, if you think about it, this car has everything. It has a lot of kit, it has a lot of tech, it comes with 2 petrol engines, there is automatic gearbox on offer as well, and it has a lot of space and the quality is also quite good. Today, it's time to experience the product firsthand, and we are at the Bhatt International Circuit to drive this car. So let's find out how does it stack up against its competition.
You're watching the autoX YouTube channel. You can also get your daily dose of all things automotive on our website, autox.com, and follow us on social media. Don't forget to check out our monthly magazine and make sure to hit the bell and subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
So the MG Astor, as you know, this is just the petrol-powered version of the ZS EV, but this is the new facelift. Of course, it's not available with the EV right now, but this is the first time that this car is being offered with a petrol version. So this is the updated version, like I said, and I think it looks quite smart. It's quite sleek also. You see the lines, it looks quite European in that regard. The main difference is, of course, it comes with a nice grille and everything about it, it's quite premium. You see it comes with LED headlamps, you have a projector lamp, you have these nice 9 diamond type LEDs. All of that looks quite cool. Now coming to the side, of course, you get these turbine inspired 17-inch wheels. I think they look quite good. It doesn't look undertired at all. You have this Brit Dynamic logo around here, which is again an MG trademark, but I think you could do without that, but okay, it's MG. On the other side, you also have the AI inside badges, so a lot of badges on the car, but overall I think in terms of proportions, in terms of how it sits on the road, this is a very smart and handsome looking car. You can't say that you don't like the looks of it. I think it's very non-offensive in that way. It doesn't look as shouty as the Hector, or it's not boring either. I think this has everything going for it. Now if you come around the back, the tail lamps, these again are full LEDs and they also look quite good. Overall, the shape of the car, it is quite premium. I honestly like the look of this car. Of course, it's not overly aggressive or it doesn't feel too SU-ish, but then the proportions, everything about this car is right. Now in terms of size, this is not as long as the Creta, the wheelbase is slightly shorter, but on the road I think this has presence. So overall, if I have to sum it up, I'd say that the Astor looks quite good and I think it will age gracefully. Now this is definitely the Astor's party piece. The interior, the quality, the fit and finish, well, this takes the game forward, because I think in this segment, this is probably the new benchmark. You see the quality, the leather, the stitching around here, it feels like a more expensive car. Everything feels top quality. In fact, even the liner, if you see, it feels like a premium car, like a luxury car. So everything here, whether it's the interior upholstery, this sangria red color scheme, or the soft touch dashboard, everything about this car, it screams quality and premiumness. Now other than that, in typical MG fashion, this car is loaded to the gills with features. So this comes with a 10.1-inch touchscreen. It packs a lot of features. You really have to spend a lot more time to understand everything, but then it has apps. You have this AI feature, which is brand new for this car. So you have this nice robo around here and it does everything that you can ask for it. There are countless commands that you can give it to this system. You can ask for jokes, you can do a lot of stuff, but I think this is something that you will grow out of probably in 5 or 6 months of ownership. But then again, it is a good feature. You also get a fully digital 7-inch LCD screen, quite nice, quite premium. It doesn't look all that flashy, but everything in this cabin is done to modern taste. Other thing that I really love about this car, they have given these nice physical buttons at the bottom. So you have a home screen, you have your defogger setting, you have fan speed, you have temperature control. These are all physical buttons, even though they can be adjusted from the touchscreen, but then it's nice to have these buttons over here. Now coming back to the touchscreen, it also packs all the ADAS system that this car comes with. This is the first car in this segment which comes with level 2 ADAS systems. So that means you have a lot of driver assistance systems, including lane keep assist, active cruise control, emergency pedestrian braking, and the lot. So it is packed with all the features. We are going to experience everything today. And if you're looking for a car that's packed with features, well, MG says that, all their cars are about technology. And of course, they have just stuffed this car with all the technology that you can find in even bigger cars. So in that respect also, if you're a tech nerd, you'll absolutely love the MG. Coming to the touchscreen, I think it's quite good. It's quite bright. It's a full HD display. They say that it has a very wide viewing angle. Even in direct sunlight, it's quite good. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel Chinese, if you're wondering. So it is quite good, quite intuitive, and I think it is one of the best in the segment. Now, other important things in the cabin is that it's quite spacious. Like I said, the quality is too good. The seats, I think there's one feature missing. They are not ventilated. I would have preferred that because this is going to be an expensive car, and other cars in the segment like the Creta, they have it. So that is a missing feature. Apart from that, it comes with 360-degree camera, but the camera quality is really, there's no other word to say it. It's really bad. It feels like you've gone back in 10 years and you're using a VGA camera for this thing. So even though there are a lot of functions, but the camera resolution and how it comes on the screen, it really does look cheap. So I wish MG could have done a little better in that respect. But overall, like what you see in the cabin, these AC vents here, there's a full panoramic sunroof. It's the biggest in the segment. They say that 90% of the roof is covered with just the glass. So these features make it look premium. It has everything. So if you're in the market to buy a premium mid-size SUV, there is no way that you can ignore this proposition what's on offer here.
The Astra also comes with a Bluetooth key, which means you don't have to carry a physical key anytime. You can lock, unlock and start the engine via smartphone app. Since it works through a Bluetooth connection instead of cellular data or internet, you don't have to worry about patchy network wherever you are.
So the space at the back, it's quite decent. Of course, there's not a lot of space, but then you have decent knee room here. There's decent amount of leg room as well, and you sit quite upright. The seat, I think it needs a little more thigh support, but overall, not bad for the segment. The seats are also quite cushiony, and the quality, like I said, these are leatherette seats, so it does feel quite premium in here as well. And 3 people can sit comfortably. The transmission tunnel is not that prominent, it's quite low. You get these AC vents here as well, and there are 2 USB ports. So in terms of practicality, in terms of space, I think you're pretty much covered in that regard as well. Of course, it doesn't feel as premium or as luxurious as the Creta because the Creta has definitely more space. It also comes with those nice headrests. So if you're planning to spend most of your time in the back seat, well, I think it doesn't quite match the Creta in that respect.
MG hasn't revealed the boot capacity of the Astra as of now, but the global spec version's boot space is 359 liters, and that makes it the smallest boot in the segment. And as you can see, it has a high loading lip too.
So we didn't really get a lot of time with the Astra on the road, in the sense we didn't get enough time on the track. We drove it, just did a couple of fast laps, and then we drove it around for shoot. So, but first impressions, and these are important ones, this car comes with 2 engine options. Today we are driving the 1.3 litre petrol engine, which is good for 138 bhp and 220 Newton meters of torque. This comes paired exclusively to a 6-speed ISIN torque converter. Now, first impressions, I really like the engine because it's quite responsive. Even at low RPMs, it's quite good. It doesn't feel like a turbo. There is just about enough grunt when you're driving this car at low speeds, and it doesn't feel dead like other turbo engines. Plus, you also have to factor in that this is quite a light car, so when you're driving it easily at slow speeds, it feels quite nice to drive. Everything is light, the controls are light, the steering is also very light. It has 3 modes, the steering. So this is in urban setting, and it's quite light. So it feels like a very good car to live with on an everyday basis. Now the next thing is the gearbox. Of course, this unit, it's quite good. It's a very smooth shifting gearbox. But at the track, I was driving it really fast, and during kickdowns, well, it is a little slow during downshifts, but then you're not going to drive this car on the track. But of course, when you're on a highway and you want a quick overtake, you will notice that the gearbox is a little slow during downshifts, and it definitely doesn't feel as responsive. It doesn't has that get up and go attitude of what you have with the Creta or the Seltos or even the Taygun with its 1.5. Same for the Skoda Kushaq. So it doesn't feel that responsive in that sense, but then for daily driving, I think this is a very effortless drivetrain, that combination of the turbo engine and this 6-speed automatic gearbox. Now coming to the more important stuff, a lot of our readers, they've been asking us, how does it drive and handle? Well, at the track, actually, it's quite interesting the way this car goes around corners. It's not really bad. It's quite composed in that sense. There is of course a bit of body roll, but the steering, it's quite nice. It doesn't have a lot of feedback, but it definitely feels much better than the Hector. It feels more car-like to drive. Now another thing is the body control. It's also quite tight. Like I said, it has 3 steering settings. So if you put it in dynamic mode, the steering weighs up. It doesn't feel all that artificial. It's quite good actually. You get a lot of heft when you're driving fast, and around corners also you will actually like that sort of feedback. The more important stuff is the ride quality, and I think this is what the target customers will also be wanting to know, because you buy a mid-size SUV for its comfort, right? In that regard, I'm really happy to say that this car, of course we didn't get to spend a lot of time on bad roads, but there are enough speed breakers on the outer perimeter road of BIC like this one, and you can immediately feel that, you know, this car, the ride quality is phenomenal. I'm in low speed rides, you don't really feel anything. It's very soft, very cushiony, and there is no suspension noise as well. Again, I think MG engineers have found a nice balance between ride and handling. Like in the Hector, you know, it's all about ride quality, it's all about plush ride, but in terms of handling, it wasn't there. This, I think they've found a really nice balance between ride and handling. From what I can tell, the ride quality is really good. The high speed stability is also quite good. We drove the car at nearly 160 kilometers per hour. You're not going to drive it at those speeds anywhere in the country, but then the stability is quite good. The brakes also feel quite good. Of course, emergency braking at high speeds, the rear tends to step out, but it's not a deal breaker in that sense. It is a very sorted package in terms of overall ride and handling. Another thing worth mentioning is the refinement. Now we've been driving this car at really high speeds today, and the refinement, it's really great. Even at high speeds, you won't hear a thing, not even the wind noise. So it's well insulated. It feels like a proper premium car, and I think it is really a complete package. Of course, one of the main features of this car is the level 2 driver assistance systems. So we got to experience a couple of them at the track. We didn't have enough time, but then, you know, these features have been tested for tens of thousands of kilometers, and if you have any doubts about that, well, don't have them. But yeah, in a country like ours where traffic is so wavered, you don't have lane markings everywhere, these systems, they do sound like a bit of a stretch. I mean, probably you're not going to use them. But MG's argument is that unless and until you give these features to customers, well, they're not going to become commonplace. So that's the whole theory here, that's the whole philosophy with MG. They're giving these features because they think they are available and they want their customers to experience it. Whether the infrastructure today supports that, well, that's a different thing. But then MG wants you to experience all these high-end features. And I think that's a fair argument, because if MG can offer these features in their cars, well, why not experience it? So to give a definite verdict, I think I need to spend more time with the car, but the first impressions are really positive. In fact, the day I checked this car during the walk around video that we did, I actually loved the quality, I loved everything in this car. The only real question was how it would drive, how it would experience from behind the wheel. And I think in that regard also, this is a very comfortable and very nice car. It feels effortless to drive. The engine options, the drivetrain, everything is quite nice. Then the ride quality, even the handling, it's quite decent. So it feels like a complete package. And like I said in the beginning, if you're in the market, you're probably discounting this product because it's an MG, or you think it's a Chinese brand. Whatever your preconceived notions are, well, I think you should just throw them in a bin, because this car, you just think about it as a product, and I think it covers all the bases. And that's why I say this is a dark horse in the running, because it offers everything that the competitors have, but this is something that feels nice, it feels complete, and it has the quality, it has the comfort, and it has a feel-good factor about it. So overall, my initial first impressions, I think I'll give this car a big thumbs up, because this is definitely worth considering, and I think it could be a big sales hit for MG, provided they price it right.